Juglans nigra, the black walnut. This tree is often famous for having wood that can be very valuable. It's cut into thin strips as veneer. It also makes edible nuts if you're able to crack them open. And again, look on the ground under a tree if you're in doubt. A squirrel or some mice chewed holes in this one to get at the meat inside. They're extremely hard. This is different from the English walnut, which is also a Juglans, the same genus. But if you've eaten English walnuts, the shell is much thinner and easier to break. You need a hammer. A regular nutcracker will break on these. You need a special nutcracker or a hammer. And there's not as much meat inside. Here's a detail of the inside. Large nuts, again, they're very hard. Vertical striations. Here's a complete one. They're covered with a green, fleshy exterior pulp when they first fall. It has a strong odor to it. And after that material decomposes off, you're left with this. The bark, again, it looks like a number of other things. Furrows, X's. Could be mistaken for ash, green ash, I suppose. But the buds on this are pretty distinctive. Here the terminal bud is quite large and it's light gray usually in color, covered with a downy fuzz. Just below that, and you'll see here, there's almost like a heart-shaped, very large heart-shaped leaf scar with 3 distinct bundles of vascular tissue. It's often described as looking like a monkey face. See the lenticels, there's some downy hair. Downy hair is worn off on this branch, but you can see the prominent lenticels and that sort of monkey face look. Here's another double black walnut. Really big one. See that same furrowed bark. Now, here's the bud. They're alternate. They've got a very large, distinct leaf scar. See it right there? See the leaf scar right there, and the bud, dormant bud right there. The leaves of black walnut are pinnately compound, oddly, from 13 to 23 leaflets. If you crush the leaves, they have a very distinctive odor. The leaflets can be up to 24 inches long, very tropical looking. Sometimes the terminal is missing, so they have an even number of leaflets. All parts of the black walnut tree secrete a substance called juglone, which is allelopathic. That means that it interferes with the growth of plants nearby. Certain plants are much more susceptible to this than others. Azaleas and rhododendrons, for example, will not grow under black walnut at all. The male and female flowers occur on the same tree. These are the male catkins. I don't have a picture of the female ones. Later they mature into these fruit. They're usually green. They can be up to the size of a tennis ball, get pretty large. And if you scrape them, they're hard. They're very hard. If you scrape them, they have that same distinctive odor that the crushed leaves do. When they fall to the ground, that outer husk, decays off. It's supposed to contain a toxic material or chemical that in the past has been used to do such things as poison fish in ponds.